Welcome all of you to a wonderful session on IoT applications with Raspberry Pi. So, as I said before, we are going to start with the way of doing some analysis, some applications, or some data analysis related stuff using IoT application, that is specifically Raspberry Pi. So when we are going to see this, what exactly are we are going to work on that? That first we will have just the description on what the IoT is, and then we will have a small application on Raspberry Pi. So that is the way we are going to start with. So before starting the session, let me have the contents which we are going to study in this. And yes, before that, let me introduce myself. Myself, Anup Jain Kelkar, nearly 18 years of experience in the field of data analysis, database, and project management. I am currently running my own academy, Python Academy, and I have done my MTech and BTech from VRC, VNIT, and I am a certified Oracle database administrator. So that is about me, and quickly jumping on what we are going to work on that. So basically we will see what is an IoT is. Okay, so we will talk about how IoT works, how the things are going on that. Then we will talk about Internet of Things evaluation, how the evaluation is going on, how the people are working on this thing one by one, and there are a lot of things to be studied about this, how the people are working on this. Then we will have the current technologies which are available in the market and which are working on this line. There are many applications currently available. We will see Raspberry Pi as a smart chip for that, how we can use that for the purpose of IoT. Again, there are many others. And then we will talk about the live code which we will run directly on this line. Okay, so that is the way the things we will go one by one. So those who are not able to hear me properly, just refresh your internet connection. Okay, because the feed is going properly. So I think who got Malkar, you just refresh the browser, so you will able to hear me properly. And I think Sapna also got the problem. So do refresh your browser. So most probably it may be an internet or browser thing. So that may be the case. You are not able to hear properly. So do refresh that. Okay. Okay. Sound is fine. Okay. Thanks, Lois sir. Okay. Good. So do refresh that. Sometimes because of the internet connectivity problem, it may break. Okay. So let's go ahead. So let us see what is an IoT basically is. So Internet of Things, or the current word which we call IoT, compromises things that have unique identities and are connected to the internet. So basically when you say things, it is nothing but the different devices which we call a things. So the focus on IoT is in the configuration, control and networking via the Internet of Devices or things. As I said, it is just the devices that are traditionally not associated with the internet, that is pump, utility meter, car engine, home appliances. There are so many things. Okay, so they are not connected to internet, but now through IoT we are trying to do that, or trying to connect the internet with that. Okay, so that are the things we want to connect with the internet. And what is the use of that? Obviously when I say something, I am able to change the any kind of device, or I can say thing, to a another state. Okay, that is the main idea behind the IoT. So IoT is a new revolution in the capabilities of endpoints that are connected to the internet. That is the basic thing. Means how I can connect that endpoint is an IoT. Means I will specifically say, I think one of the your student, I didn't remember the subscriber name, he also created some Android app to open the lights. Okay, so he shown in a small video on his YouTube channel how to close and open the light. So that is also a kind of IoT, you can say, through Android application. But now you cannot have everywhere that Android mobile phone kept, right? So that's why we need device which we will control from Android phone, or maybe through Alexa or some Google Dot or something. That is all connected to the capability how we can use these devices. So the scope of this IoT is not limited to just connecting things to the internet. Okay, so we should not say, okay, we are just connecting this to like a light is connected, or say pump is connected, or some satellite is connected. That is not the only limitation. It allows these things to communicate and exchange data, and that is more important. As an example, I can say now in many now currently not in Mumbai, but soon it will be there in US. Many things, whenever you are approaching through your cars to near your home, you just say, "Set my house. I am coming in." So once you send this message, all the things like it may be opening your garage door, or having the lights in the minimum mode, or you can say having hot water ready for the bath. Maybe your toaster is ready with to toast to just to eat once you come home. So all these things will happen within that time. Once you reach the home, all things are ready. So it's look like some Hollywood movies, but yes, it is possible if you going to connect all these things together. Okay. So it is not as directly, it is when happens when you communicate. Okay, so the communication is also important. So you communicate with each other, and then you are able to see that these things are happening. Okay, so processing on this data will provide us various application towards a common user or machine goal. So it is a combine of connecting things and communicating and exchanging data, which will make sure you are working on the correct way of processing further. Okay, so that is the main theme behind that. Okay, and that's why we are concerned with how we can work on this IoT or Internet of Things. Now, when you talk about how we are changing for moving from the Internet of People to Internet of Things now. So, if you compare this thing previously, Internet appears everywhere in the world, and it is primarily connection between the people, and it started in that fashion only. Means people started using internet for just email or some other things. Okay, so the Internet of Things is a plan to connect things also using the same medium. So since internet is already available, we want all things to be connected there. Okay, and that is the way we can proceed further for the understanding how Internet of Things can be used. Okay, so that is the main theme behind that. Okay, Rakhade sir is also there. So Rakhade sir, you have to join with here from YouTube channel only, because that Zoho platform I think creating a problem today. So should I continue, or Rakhade sir has to say anything? Lovely sir. Okay, so let me continue. Because on this I cannot provide the speaker. On Zoho platform I can, but today it got the problem. So no problem. Okay. So let me continue with this. So as I talking about, the internet was already present. The next step is just to have all these things or devices to be connected to the internet. So just like as the people communicate, we can have our devices communicate with each other along with the humans. Okay, you cannot left human behind. Okay, if you do that, what will happen? It will be just the next era of Hollywood movie. Okay, so you have robots talking to each other, and that is also happening. If you read the newspaper or something related to Facebook or Google, there are a lot of things happening. Like Facebook has the chat application which they develop, and after some 6 months of project, that chat application started talking to each other with some cryptic language. Even human don't know, so they shut down that project. So that thing are also in the future. We don't know what will happen in the future, but yes, we have to move ahead. So this is a very good way of just showing how the IoT evaluation is taking place step by step. So before the era of internet, it was just the human to human conversation. Okay, so we have the fixed or mobile telephony, most of the time the telephone, the black telephone, yellow telephone, and we have the SMS. Okay, so that are the things we are going to use for the communication and go ahead with that. And that was going on, and then come the internet era. So it started with www, so that was the starting point you can have. And then smart networks came into picture, and that was just the starting point to have an email ID, to have some information on some website, or just for the entertainment. Okay, it was nothing more than that. And in India, if you say, that time just the internet cafe was started and people like that. Then that time Yahoo was there, Yahoo Messenger was there, then people used to chat lot of the things on the Yahoo Messenger. So that was the starting era. Many of you as a student, you may not know that also, because you were very small that time. So that matter, but your faculties must be knowing how that era has changed. Okay, and then we got the wave of services or internet of services, where we got the 2.0 version. And then the many things that IT platform and services uh, gear up in a very big fashion. Means you got then e-productivity, e-commerce, and then you start to even sell something. Again, that time no payment gateway or nothing was there. Means it was just in the beginning phase, but still you can buy it and pay it afterwards, or at least you can see the website of new companies which are nearby shops where started their own website, and all these things I have started. While that is going on, the people, or us, people means us only, we got in, and then it become internet of people because of the huge rise of social media. We have the Skype, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Insta, and then so many things. Okay, so now, and also you got the smartphones in hand. Okay, and the application, that is the added advantage, because otherwise every time you have to go to the laptop, and since that time laptop was not also a very good, a desktop you can say, or a internet cafe, just to have this all kind of thing. Now that is also not required, it is in your pocket. And now more and more people have started working on that. And now internet got also reduced rate. Okay, we have geo of 1 GB, 2 GB every day, and we also consume that without any problem. So that is also going on. So since it is going on, we jump to the next phase, which is the this era which you are in, and you have a lot of work to do as a part of this, is the Internet of Things. Now that is machine to machine identification, tracking, monitoring, metering. You have the GPS, you have the gyro, lot of sensors are there, I can say, and all this is happening because of the devices, smart devices, I can say, objects, data, and so on. And in the future we will have an smart data and ambient context of that, and that is also is happening one by one. Okay, so this is also going on the line. So all these things are making this internet of things very popular. And why I have taken this topic today for you also, because most of the time you have some final year projects and all that things, and you make very simple projects rather than you think on this new technologies which are coming into the picture, because it will help to get good marks also. But the main thing is, when you appear for some interviews in the future, you can tell more things what you have done for the futuristic thing, rather than just the same Android app and doing some web application. Okay, so do consider this for the future also. Now going on to the next, what we are talking about is, there are so many applications looming around. Means it is not a single thing that will go, so many applications. So I have just some of the features I have said, like a consumer, retail sector, medical sector, military section, industrial, automotive, environmental, agriculture. You just say the name, and we will have some IoT application sensors attached to that. And then there are lot many examples also I have added, like smart home control, as I said just now, an example, optimizing energy uses, maintenance. So many things are there. Okay, from medical, wearable devices, implanted devices. Then these implanted devices means now, instead of just having an operation, we can have a small camera attached to a wire, and that can go inside of from your mouth and just check for the cough and all that thing. That is also happening because of the IoT application availability. Then the resource allocation, threat analysis. Military also is using a lot of, rather than sending the humans as an first frontier, you can have some robots who can tackle that situation, can detect the bombs or so many things. Okay. In industrial, obviously, a lot of people are working on this and they are coming with lot of sensors and all this. Automotive thing like traffic flow, anti-theft location, environment and agriculture. In here in Nagpur itself, a crop data is a company specifically working in agriculture with data analysis. So that is a totally two different field they are trying to combine with the weather forecasting, some sensors, water management and all that thing. So you can see you have so many things to work on. So you just pick up any one topic out of this and let's have a small project on that. That will be a beginning for that. You may be a maybe a co-founder or founder of a startup in the future. We don't know, right? But you have to start or think big and start with a very small related field. Then only it is possible. Okay, so do think on that line. Now going for the IoT technologies which will be required to work on that. Obviously, only a single Raspberry Pi may not suffice. You may have other things also to work on, but yes, you have an hardware. You should have some kind of protocols or communication technology because the devices should communicate with each other, and that can be done through some cloud computing or through technology like Alexa and all that thing. That is also possible. Some kind of special software may be needed. In the case currently Python is sufficient to work on all these things. Okay, and the cloud platform. So all these technologies we will need to use one by one. Okay, then only it will be possible for understanding how we can work with the IoT application. So that was about the IoT application or Internet of Things, which one should have an idea on or how to work on that. Next comes the our case which we are going to see. So that is a Raspberry Pi, which we are going to use as a smart chip for the working. Okay, so this Raspberry Pi is basically a called, you can call a mini computer which consists of all the related stuff. Okay, so it will have all the things. I will show you all this through my Raspberry Pi. And this one, since it is portable and it is a computer, you can keep anywhere. You can put along with the camera on the CCTV. You can have along this with the switch. You can have all this on some weather forecasting station. You can have it on your bike or on your car. Anywhere you can keep it and just tune in with your requirement, and done, you are done with how to work on that. So that is the way Raspberry Pi works. Okay, so in basically when you talk about Raspberry Pi, what sensors and actuators it will require, so I have just calculated some of them, not all of them. So you can have a flow controller, you can have a leaks level detector, you can have a magnetic electrical bulbs or anything, or you can have a machine vision from that. So for that obviously you have to use OpenSea and other network. So motion velocity displacement that is also there. Humidity moisture detection, that also can be utilized. Chemical gas. So there are so many fields or so many areas where these sensors can be put in. So I got one slide which shows how many kinds of sensors currently available in my, that there may be more than that, but this gives an idea how many sensors are there, and you can see lot of there like color flash is there, and these are very small project. You can think, don't think very big how I can do, I am just a student, just an as an example. So if you want to create what one of my students have done, he has done a Twitter sentiment analyzer. Okay, so what was that? Any tweet he will send, and the program which was written in Python is able to identify if he is talking about a positive thing, negative thing, or a neutral. On that, he created a Raspberry Pi application with an LED. So what happens? You just put a tweet, and if it is positive, an LED glow in another, means there were two LEDs, and if we put anything negative, the negative LED glows. So that is an IoT application. You can think in a simple manner how I can achieve that. Means you are doing something on internet, on maybe on mobile through your Twitter, and once you pass on, the LED light are glowing, and that is the way you can say. Means you can use this as an a person's, I can say, the emotion detector. Means is the person coming near to you when he is talking some word, is he positive or negative or some other way. Okay, so that is the simple way you can utilize these kinds of sensors. Okay, so then there is a joystick which can be used for game and all this thing. Temperature measurement, that is also there. Flame is there which can create, but it is have some problems in that, but still it is used. Then you have the temperature measurement. Buzzer is there, which has to, when you want to make a buzzer sound on some particular occurrence of the event, so that also can be used. Okay, so many ways of utilizing this. Obviously it will cost, but not much. Means now Raspberry came with the version 4. Currently 3B was there. Now the version 4 is there, and it costs you nearly 5,000. And the good thing is, if you just wait for 2-3 months more, Raspberry is coming up with a chip which will have the keyboard and mouse and everything. You don't have to buy it. Means you will have a computer of 4 GB RAM of only 5,000 rupees. Okay, or 5 or 6,000 rupees. And just in any home now, most of you will have the TVs with the HDMI connection. So you just connect and your laptop or your computer is ready. So it will be so portable computer under your hand. Okay, so within 2-3 months it will be available in India also. Already available in other countries, not in India yet. So you will see how how so how easily just sorry for that. So you can see how easily you can utilize all this related stuff, and you can have the output of that. So to work on this, I will first show you how the Raspberry Pi is there, what are the connection in that. Okay, and then we will have a small code using our teachable machine. Okay, so we will have the Raspberry Pi, and we, instead of taking pictures, because I got a problem with my camera on Raspberry Pi, but still we will do that on your on our PC. Okay, so just to do that, let me change the connection. So just a minute. uh, Let me put the camera on. So let me put that on. Okay, so that is the, hopefully everyone is able to see me. So I have connected my mobile just to show you how the Raspberry Pi is. Okay, so here comes the Raspberry Pi. So this is the Raspberry Pi which is I have here. It is Raspberry Pi 3B, which is widely used in market. Now as I said, it is 4 also available, so you can go for that. In this, what are the things available? It comes with so simple portable. It is with case. I have added this case here. So basically, case you have to buy it separately. Otherwise, you will have the cheap only. Okay, so that is the there. Then if I go a closer look for that, so let me have the closer look. If I can show you properly. Okay, so here is the closer look, which you can see here. It is having a what I can say, a chip which is available. So this is the chip available inside. Okay. Then we have all kind of connection which I will show from outside, and basically it comes with the cameras also, which also you can buy, which I have purchased, but yesterday's experiment has made it damaged. So that is a portable camera which is of 5 megapixel. You can have more on that. Okay, so that is also available, and it works on Raspbian. That is I can say one of the operating system which you have to install. So you will install here. So all steps are available. You have to just search on internet, and they will provide the details on that. So easily you can connect this. It works with the HDMI cable. So I will just go on this side just for your understanding. Okay, so let me show that in this way. So it requires a power cord, which will be your just mobile connector. Then it will have an HDMI. Okay, so that is available. On this side, if you go, you will see all the ports, USB ports are available. So you just connect any kind of keyboard, mouse or internet connection on this. So you will have a ready-made thing on that. If I go on this side, you will see you have the HDMI port. Okay, so once the installation is done, your Raspberry Pi will be ready. So for me, I have connected that to my I can say monitor. So it was again a connector I need, because HDMI has to be converted into VGA format, and that is the way I have connected my computer. So this is the Raspberry Pi which I have shown, and as I said, it has multiple functionality. Okay, so it was supposed to work with this, and we are supposed to do our programming here, but since the code the camera got some problem, we will show on my laptop, but still I will show how I have connected this to the my PC. Means it is not I have to work every time on this. Once you connect and once your code runs here, you can go back to your laptop and run the program directly from your laptop or your desktop. That is also possible. Okay, so that is the way you can work on the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so that is a interesting thing, and you can think of taking this Raspberry Pi for your projects in the future also, because it is not very costly and it creates a lot of applications. Okay, many people are using the CCTV camera footage. On top of that, then face recognition, face detection, then you have the driver's meter reading, or how much run you have made, so many things. Okay, so you can have all these things using this. Okay, so that is the Raspberry Pi. So let me go back to the screen again. So just wait a minute, let me reduce this screen. So that was supposed to be the Raspberry Pi for you. Now going back to how to connect that. Okay, so for connecting the Raspberry Pi, we have application, which I will just open it here. So let me open it, just a minute. So you can connect it directly also, or you can connect it through your laptop. Both the ways you can connect it. Okay, so just give me a minute. Okay, so the connection has been made. I need to show you from YouTube. So let me show you that. Okay. So this is the Raspberry Pi screen which I am showing you, and this is going through. This is not a screen on my mobile or my laptop. Okay, it is a screen which is available on Raspberry Pi, and that is the way Raspberry Pi works. Okay, so I am using an application called VCN. Okay, so VCN is the application which is used for connecting the Raspberry Pi from my laptop. Okay, so it goes through SSH connection. That also you should have an idea of. And I have just opened a simple query just to write. If I write some simple code like hello, and the code runs. Okay, so that is an easy way you can see the thing. So in this video you can see that I am running this on Raspberry Pi. Okay, that is the Raspberry Pi which is connected. Okay, so and Python is pre-installed there, you don't have to install it. Currently the latest Python version they are using is 2.7 and 3.7. Okay, you can upgrade it also if you want. So both the way you can work on that. Now on this, as I said, we are supposed to have a camera, so we can use some object detection method. Currently, because of that camera failure, I will show through my window how we can create an project for this purpose as an object detection, and the same thing you can work with your one also. Okay, so let's do that. For that, let me change this screen again. So just a minute. I am working. So I have to change multiple screens here. That is the I can say the problem or the way of handling it. So here we go. So you most of all of you have gone through the video which I have said previously to know about the teachable machine. Okay, so as I said, we are going to have a very small project. You will see without doing any small type of coding, I will be able to have a simple object detector here. So same thing, I can go with the Raspberry Pi. If you just try to put in, the way we will do it is through teachable machine. Okay, the same thing you can go with the Raspberry Pi browser, because browser is also available. So how we will do an object detection? This is the website which is available, which is called Teachable. Okay. So on this Teachable machine, if you get started, it works on three things. It asks you which kind of project you want to create. So it allows three projects or three types of classification. Basically, the classification project it allows. The first one is our image recognition, which we will do. Another is also available as audio reject project. That means you say some word or some song or something, and then you will have a different class on that. And the third one is the position detection. So you can provide your position and it will capture with the proper points on your body. Okay, so that all are interesting project. The good thing, once you complete this project, the whole code is also available, which also you can deploy or you can check. Okay, both the things are available. So let's have this simple project for your understanding. You at the same time can have this project also. So what I will do, I will have a simple classification. For that, I have some 2 3 toys here. I borrowed from my son. He said it has to be written properly. So I will use that for the identification, and we will see how easily we can utilize that. Okay. The question is from Dipanshu. We can only code with Python, or we can also use other. You can use Java also, but specifically Raspberry Pi, as the name suggests, was specially designed to work with Python more easily and more fast. For Java, again, you have to install the Java compiler and all that thing, because it is just like a computer, but it will not be optimized. I can say it will be more optimized if you work Python, or work with the Python. Okay, so that is the main purpose behind it. And in simple, I can say Java is a very good language for software development, not for IoT application or even having data analysis. Okay, so whenever you are going in that field of data analysis or machine learning or some other stuff, I will say you go with the Python. Okay, it is not because I have my Python Academy here, but that is the current situation. Okay, but for Java, software development and all that things are good. Okay, so that is for Dipanshu. Okay. Good. So coming back to our program, which we are going to say here, we are going to conduct is we are going to create a class out of that. Okay. So for going class, two classes we will have. So for first class, I will give the name truck. So I will show a toy of truck, and it will capture multiple images. And second class, I will have a car. Okay, so it will capture the multiple car images. The good thing is you can upload if you have multiple images available. Accordingly, the model will made. For simplicity, you can have your webcam open and then it will read it. Okay, so for me, I will use my webcam. So just let me open the webcam. So webcam has open, and here, since the background should be good, so I am just using a white paper, and you will see a car. Again, as I said, it is a toy. So still it will be a good project for us. So let me have it like this. So it should not take my image, it will take this image only. You can have a proper background and all that thing in the future if you want. So let me show you the truck. Okay, so it is giving the truck here. Okay. So once the image, again the complete image is not there obviously because I am holding a paper with that. But let's have this truck here, and now on this you just keep hold to record and it will start capturing the truck images. Okay, so I am just clicking the below button to have a proper understanding, and it started, and I am just moving this truck, so you should have proper angles of this. Okay, and I have stopped. So what has happened here, all the kind of truck images, again it is not a very good images or everything is going, but yes, truck images has been collected. So that is one class of images we have. Then we will go for the next class. Okay, so just let me go back. So I will just close this webcam. Okay, so I have one kind of images ready with me. Now I will open with the second one, where I will have another toy from my son. So son are always fond of cars and trucks. Okay, and they break it within 3-4 days. Okay, so it is not available. Let me show if I can show it properly. Yes, now I can show you the car here. So is it visible properly? Yes. Let me have a proper angle for that. And here goes the car. So let me collect the photos for that. And yes, car is collected with all the angles and all these things, and done. Now I have two images ready with me. Okay, so these two images has been captured. One is the car image and another is the I can say, and I have nearly 150 images, which is again you can say less. Now the model which comes with teachable machine is so efficient. You just click on, again there are a lot of options. Okay, I will not discuss all of them, but yes, you just click on train model and it start its preparation, because model creation also consume lot of time. That's why now a GPUs and all that things are coming into the picture. Okay, so it is training this both the images. So what happens here, Python, again it is created in Python code and TensorFlow. OpenCV is the library which is very much popular, which uses this image capturing. Okay, so now it has consumed all the data and now it has started training it. Okay, so it has 50, maybe a 50 proper images it has captured. So while doing that, it says don't switch your tabs, don't do anything. So do make sure don't have to change anything because the processing is going on. If the images are too complicated to understand, it may get more time. Okay, that is also possible. Since I have a very simple car and truck there, so it will not take much. And you can see my model is ready. Okay, so now currently looking at me, he says it is a truck, but you will see how our algorithm works. So now I will show him a truck, and you will see the truck has the 100% possibility, car is 0. So it has identified it as a truck. Okay, and if I remove it again, it start changing, but if I give it again, it identifies the truck. Whereas if I give the car, and it is not just simple, if you see that, oh, it is very easy. No, to identify an image and come up with the result is very difficult. And since I am giving the car now, just a minute, the car is very small. I asked him a bigger car, but he didn't give me. Okay. So here comes the car model, and you can see again car was not a very good picture. So some percentage is lowering down, but yes, car has an more than 80% for identification, and yes, it is identifying it as a car. But again, since only two images I have given, that's why I have one more thing, which is not a car or not a truck. It is a van kind of thing, but it get confused here because it haven't seen that thing. Okay, and it get confused and it says, okay, it seems to be a modified version of truck. Okay, and that's why for truck only it is giving an 100%. So why I have added the third thing? Whenever you work on any machine learning algorithm, you should consider that also, that it is not only I can say two or three identification. Wherever in the future many identification you have to do, you have to work on that also. Okay, so that thing also you have to understand. Second, as I said, you can export the model, so you will have your code which you can download, you can put it on some website. It is available in different languages, not in languages, basically libraries I can say, like TensorFlow Lite, TensorFlow JS, TensorFlow Python. That is the way you can utilize this code. Okay, so that was the simplest project, was supposed to do on Raspberry Pi, but because of the camera module, so in Raspberry Pi, what change will be? The same thing. You will open this website on the Raspberry Pi browser. Instead of webcam, since webcam is not directly available, you will connect an camera, which as I have shown you, and then you will do this project. Now this project can be utilized for any purpose. Then you can utilize for doing some other kind of stuff, like identification of a person. If I have an three images of person which always enter one area or a classroom, you can identify and you can write the code then. So fourth kind of person enter, you should have a beeper or a buzzer saying some unidentified person has entered the room. Now, that can be a small project you can do. Then you can have some identification methods. Let's have in traffic, how many cars, how many trucks are moving in through one area. You can count immediately using this method. So there are so many applications of this method. You can try it out. And only the thing, it works on classification, because there are two categories, regression and classification. So this works on classification only. Okay, so that is the way you can work on this project. So going back again to our this one, the PPT, just for the understanding again. So let me go back there. So just a minute, I will just reduce this one. Okay. So just okay, so as we are talking about, that was the small project to detect an object. Specifically, we have done the truck detection, you can say that. So that is the way you can understand it. So going to the Python Academy, as I said, what way of modes we provide. So that is, you can say, a promotion from our side for conducting this webinar. So we provide three kinds of things: classroom delivery, online delivery, and self-paced instructor videos. Currently, classroom is not in start mode, but soon start, because government is opening lot of day by day institute and all the permissions they are providing. Soon classroom will start. But we have other two, which is online delivery and self-paced instructor videos. In online, it will be a one-to-one communication where we conduct this topic of data analytics with Python. That is the course we have, and only one course we have. We don't provide different course and teach same thing. Like you will have machine learning and data analysis and artificial. All things boils down to the same course, data analysis with Python. We also provide self-paced instructor videos. So if you don't have a proper timing to attend the classes, you can have the purchase of all the videos, and then you can watch as per your time. And then there is a Skype and communication on, which you can go through. So that are the things we provide. So the program which we provide, as I say, we call it Pro Degree program, which contains the data analytics with Python. Okay, so it starts with the basic of Python environment setup and essential, basically talking about how to utilize the Python as a programming language. So that is the base thing. Then we jump on to the data analytics, where we talk about how to utilize the data using the packages like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. All we will do. And then the advanced data science concept, where machine learning, R programming, 2 months internship, all things are added. With some kinds of electives are also there, which you can select out of that. Like you can go for the deep learning, you can go for the NLP or the web application development. All these things has been provided. Okay, so that is from our side as Python Academy. And as I said, all of you are today connected with our YouTube channel. So do subscribe the channel. We have lot of old videos which you can go through for new applications creation. Very small code generally we show, and you can work on that. Again, the second thing is, there will be lot of future webinars, just like your college. We will have a lot of colleges connected. So we will have a lot of new topics which we can talk about. So that will also happen in the future. So do subscribe the channel. Okay, so the subscribe option is open and it is unpaid, means you don't have to pay anything for subscription. It is just the subscription, and every time anything new comes on our channel, we display that. Okay, so that are the things we are going to see here. So as a recap, what we have studied today, we started with our basic IoT application. What is that? How to utilize that? Then we talked about what are the different applications which can be connected, and as I said, things are nothing but the devices which you want to use. And once you utilize that, you can work on many different things using the applications which are available. Okay, so that was the part of today's lecture for the IoT applications with Raspberry Pi.